regulated broker, and also managing investingcube.com. We got True Invention in the chat box there. Good morning to you. And anybody else who wants to join, just join me here in the chat. This is weird. I thought I had updated this. It's supposed to say 9:30 here. There we go. 9:30 was updated. Yeah, so 9:30 every day, if you need this presentation, is hosted here on investingcube.com, which is a site that provides you free market analysis. You just need to register. Also, before we jump into the deep end of the charts, check this out. We have something new coming up. So if you wonder where I've been busy over the last week or so. I've been busy organizing this. So we have an online trading summit, and that's going to take place on Saturday, November 30th, from 10 a.m. London time to 3 o'clock London time. So I invited a few speakers, a few friends, and people I know to have some presentations for us. So we have Sakmir, which has been it's been around for a very, very long time. He's one of those guys that introduced, well, I didn't say introduced, but was very big in technical analysis here in London from the very beginning. We have Glenn Goodman, that used to work for ITV, and this gentleman here turned 3,000 into 100,000 trading indices and shares, and then he went into starting to trade cryptos. He has about 250,000 followers on Facebook, so he must be doing something right. And then we have Charlie, which is an FCA regulated money managers. He's been trading for 22 years, and 18 of these have been full-time. In fact, he's so famous that this guy's been on the BBC shows Traders Millions by the Minute, where you can actually see him trading and see how he works from his home. And this gentleman as well here did something really inspirational. In 2013, he took a trading challenge where he would turn a 10,000 trading account into 100,000, and he gave himself a challenge of do that within 2 years. Well, it took slightly longer. It took about 2.5 years, but he did reach that. So he did turn an account from 10 grand up to 100 grand, and he's going to also join us to talk a bit about the markets. Then you have myself, then you have Ian Foster, and Ian Foster, he started trading equities in the 1980s, and since 1998 he's just been trading, and he also manages a site that helps people learn more about his trading strategy. And then we have Angeline, which is the new writer of Investing Cube, and she was actually one of the ladies that started Baby Pips. You know that site with Baby Pips School? Well, the site is still around. A lot of people guys know about it, and she was actually one of the ladies that set that up many years ago. And since then she's trading, and she's also been working for the company Learn to Trade in the Philippines as a trading coach and mentor. And all of this is free. You just need to register here to get access to this. So I'll send you the link right now, and you'll have that so you can check it out when you have time. And then you have, if you click up here, if you would for some reason miss out and you don't find this link, or you can't find it, it's up here, Online Trading Summit, on the homepage. It's going to be here for a few more weeks, so you can just register here, or it's up here in the menu as well. Okay, let's begin, and we'll talk a bit about the markets. And let me just open up my charts. We'll get this going. So we're going to begin with the markets. It's a bit quiet in today. Let's just show you a general overview. Let me just check something here as well. Here we go. Okay, so Euro USD, GBP quiet today. Dollar yen is a bit. Aussie dollar and New Zealand dollar is also very quiet. Dollar CAD quiet. Dollar Swiss, you have some momentum here. And then you have crude oil markets and gold. They're also relatively quiet, except gold, which is down $6.88. Then you have stock markets up a bit. So a bit quiet overall in the market, but let's see what's going on. So this is your euro, and the outlook for the euro remains unchanged. I know it's been a boring week, but it is what it is. If you notice some differences here, though, I have lowered the trend of funding level, which I had up here. Lowered a tiny bit like this. And I also added the low here from the October 15th. So if we take out that level, Next level that kicks in is at 109.43, so that could be a potential target. Take that out and slow drift lower. Now there's two ways of trading this. One would be wait for that corrective move, which I like. The alternative would celebrate to the downside. That could also work out. There are people as well that are probably just doing something like this as well. Just trading this little short-term downtrend. And I guess it's possible to do that as well if you know what you're doing. GBP USD continues to trade within this corrective move. The way this behaves, you know, when something trades slowly and really struggles to trade lower, then that is a corrective move. If we ignore all of that and just look at this for a fact, then you have a lower low and a lower high, and that leaves the trend bearish, and that's why I'm bearish. And I'll be bearish as long as you're below 129.33. But here again, it's another of these markets which is going nowhere. Here's dollar yen. The market unfortunately did trade below the November 7th low, so we had that breakout opportunity, went up, and we said you can buy the breakout or you can buy the dip here. Fortunately, the market, I mean, it went up or up for a little while, and then the market slumped, and we're trading down here, trading below that level. Myself, I was long. Unfortunately, I got stopped out on this one. There's not too much to do about it. The market is now consolidating further, and it's a bit tricky, but you have this trend line. So I guess if we trade below it and take out the November low, then that would change the mood. I think we could potentially trade a little bit lower at that point. Maybe do something like that. And, you know, we could potentially here, the way this looks like, still do something like this. With the market could go up and then down and then up like that. So this is quite an important level, this one here. We could do that. We could, if you wanted to as well, try to buy maybe down here somewhere, but I think this could easily as well just go and do something like that, and then it's bullish or bearish. So it's a bit tricky really, and I wouldn't have a very strong view here on this. There's not too much happening. You need to look beyond your regular pairs. You need to look at some of the crosses, and you might even need to look at some other things like dollar Polish zloty, or dollar Hungarian forint, or dollar Singapore dollar. There's a few things that are moving, but it's not the majors. Gold prices. Look at that. So the market went nicely up towards the sell zone, reversed and turned perfectly lower. The way this is right now, it could swing back up again, but as long as you trade below 1492, then I'm gonna remain bearish, and this is a bearish downtrend, so there's no change to the outlook here. Crude oil prices, even that one is trading sideways. It's not too much to do, but the price is trading sideways like here, and it could easily turn upwards. It could eventually, if it spends longer time here, I'm gonna, you know, forget about being bullish and just say sell on the break to the downside, which, you know, the way this is looking is possible to scalp from 55.53 to maybe something like 54.63, but I don't think it's going to be very, very easy, and my preference is still maybe to look to buy down here. Stock markets, also a bit quiet, but definitely going upwards. So we said if you wanted to, you could use this one to help you launch a bullish position, and the market is slowly going upwards, and it's heading towards, potentially now, towards that level up here, which actually moved up a bit. That would be that little line up here around 31.37, but it's not an ideal opportunity to trade. The last very good idea I shared with you guys was to buy here. That worked out fine. And before that, I think it was, actually no, this is the last one here. And we're just looking for that pullback. That's what we're looking for. German DAX as well. What's also quite interesting here that the German DAX is consolidating nicely. So this will at one point, it could potentially decline on and fall, effectively just go down, because a lot of people have been buying and buying and buying, and you have people that are not very experienced that are looking at the market and then say, oh wow, look at that, the market is up quite a bit, I'm missing out, let's buy a bit. And then when they notice that the market is not going anywhere, and then they're like, goes down a little bit against them, and then they'll say, oh look, I'm losing money again. Then they close everything out, and then the weight of those people that came in really late pushes everything down because they want to get out. So no change here. I'm bullish above 12,790, but a break here could change that and can potentially trade lower. I did publish something on ADVFN. Let me check if I can load that. Just give me a second. So I'm just gonna load something here. I'll send you the link. Check it out. So, good morning, Main West. There you go. That's another link. It's a article I do with a partner of ours, ADVFN, and this is a chart on the German DAX. And here I'm using an Andrews pitchfork, where I just draw these lines you see from 2019 all the way up until now, and it sort of explains the price action relatively good, and you can see how it perfectly, or not perfectly, but identified that low here. Yeah, we'll call it perfectly. And the market sort of respected this in the past, and this trend line here has provoked reversals for quite some time. You got the reversal here, and reversal here, and maybe it's time for that to happen again. Maybe it's not. Maybe this is just gonna go crazy, this market, and maybe it will do. However, RSI and everything is overbought. We're very close to these levels, so I reckon the risk-reward ratio for buying up here is not very good, and the risk-reward ratio for selling here is much better. And effectively, what this tells us is that we might go up, and then maybe from the blue line we'll bounce, maybe something like this. But it could also be down, up, and then cut straight through that little zone, and then maybe buying at the midpoint or the lower level, most likely the midpoint. So if this goes around here, and remember, right now everybody's bullish, everybody's happy, everybody thinks we're gonna go up. You need to look at those people that are bearish, and they're consistently bearish, how they're reacting. If they're turning bullish, well, that could be a big warning sign. I know some of the perma bears, they've been very, very quiet lately. So we want to see what happens with them, these guys, because again, give some interesting indications. And what's quite interesting with what I learned using the pitchforks over the last few months is that when we're up here, everybody's bullish. When we're down at the lows, everybody's bearish. But the pitchfork system here is quite nice. It gives you contrarian signals. And we used it several times already. The latest time we used it was here on the dollar index. I said the market would turn bearish from here. Sorry, what was that? October, I think it was here. From here. And the whole market slid. I did try to buy here, did not work out, and then the market slid but found support down here. And as you can see, at least for the dollar index, it's done a very nice job. And in the case of the dollar index right now, it's not on a level where you really want to buy it. It's not even in a level you want to sell it. It either needs to come back down to support, or as a minimum the blue line here. Okay, let's see if you guys have any questions. No questions, that's perfectly fine. So I think we're going to wrap things up. If you do have any questions for me, just click on this little button up here. Oh, sorry, this is for the YouTube page. Would be awesome if you could like the page, and if you do have any questions for me, the best thing is actually just reach out via my Twitter. There we go. So I'll send this to you as well. So if you do have questions, you're most welcome to reach out. Have a great day, guys, and a great weekend. If I don't see you guys, check out the homepage as well here on investingcube.com. We have changed it a little bit, and we hope you're gonna like it. We are making some changes though. So for example, if you do want to read the content now, you can read a few of them, but a bit like Bloomberg, you need to register. The difference here though is that you don't have to pay. So we'll give you this little indication. If you do sign up, you click here, or you can click up here. It's very straightforward. Why would you sign up? Well, A, you can read restricted content. Right now, it's actually much more than 100%. Before, we used to lock half of our content, which means that if you were not a member, you can only read 50% of the articles. Now, effectively, lock everything. So you can only read 3 articles, but we publish, I think, about 30 a day, and then multiply that by week, because you can only read 3 a week. And then you got the quality market outlooks, and then you got restricted videos as well that you can read. It's very straightforward. You can sign in with Facebook, and you can continue with Google, or you can just fill out your details here. And it's free, and it's very straightforward, and you have access to all of this. Okay, guys. Thanks so much, True Invention. Have a good weekend as well, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Thank you, and bye-bye. Cheers.